So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back once again to the greatest watch market update show. Guys, please don't forget, to click, the subscribe button, subscribe that channel, subscribe this channel, and don't forget to give us a like, a thumbs up, Even before the show starts, you guys should give me thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, because we try to bring you the greatest watch market update show there is, with real content, the real stuff that's happening out there. All right, guys? So don't forget, thumbs up, and don't forget to click the subscribe button. All right? Thank you so much. Anyway, guys, I have some good news to tell all of you out there. The price of gold is climbing up. The price of silver is climbing up. And the price of platinum is climbing up, at 1,470, and gold is at $3,380 an ounce, and silver is at $39 an ounce. I gave you all three of them, that trifecta. And what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is that around the world, we'll get to that too, Siga. Around the world, everybody is printing currency. Dólares, cuartos, euros, chavo, plata, chelitos, lana. Everybody around the world is printing money. So all these trifecta, gold, silver, and platinum is just going up. But I also want to share something with all of you too. I'm going to stay in the same subject, but we're going to be talking about. There you go. You see, you got to listen to Franco Fiore. Look what he just wrote down, because if I say it, it may not be good for you, but this is a subscriber, a loyal subscriber of ours. He's in your team. He belongs to this army, and he put there that a dollar's worth 4 cents. I'm only telling you what I read, and I agree. But I'm going to stay in the subject again of gold, silver, and platinum. We have another metal that it has blown up. I don't know if a lot of you know about this. I'm sure you guys know about this because all of you are very smart gentlemen and out there, ladies as well. But we have a metal called rhodium. Rhodium is an unbelievable, it's a silver white metallic. It's an element resistant to corrosion and highly reflective, and they use that to put it on white gold to make it more shiny. It's like a glass, and palladium. There you go. We have smart people here. I don't want to get into palladium, so I'm saying rhodium, to keep it simple, because somebody told me that I must keep, my content simple. Don't drop too much, because you're gonna get people dizzy. So you're right. It is palladium too, and all that. But let's stick with rhodium. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna tell you something because you guys should know about this. I'm into all these metals. We're also going to be talking about tungsten, tungsten. We're going to be talking about osmium, which these are metals that also that guy, that guy that makes the rockets, that makes the cars, he makes those cars, those electric cars. He's using those two metals that I just finished telling you, those two names, tungsten and osmium. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, because I don't know how to pronounce sometimes things very well, but we're going to get to that too. We're going to be talking about rhodium, rhodium. In the year 2000, I'm going to give you something from 2013 to 2023. And I want you to hear this. Listen, I want you to hear this. There you go. There you go. Exactly. We had this. Franco's unbelievable. Franco, you need to do your own. You need to do your own show. You need to do your own. Get your own show going, because you're smart. You're too smart. So, in 2013, from 2013 to 2023, I'm going to give you some numbers of rhodium, the way it has behaved. You know, the way it has behaved. You guys need to, know about this. You know, you need to know about this because this might just go bananas. In 2013, rhodium, the troy ounce was at $1,069. In 2014, it was at $1,174. In 2015, it was at $955. 2015. In 2016, check this out. In 2016, the troy ounce of rhodium went down to $696. $696. In 2017, it went up to $1,108. In 2018, listen and learn, ladies and gentlemen. This is when people blow up. They blow up and they make, that big money. Maybe Mr. Franco Fiore knows about this. It's unbelievable. When BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, JP Morgan, they all get together, something big happens. Remember the year 2018 and remember the year 2017. It was at $1,108. $1,108 in the year 2017. But in the year 2018, those six monsters got together, and this is what happened to rhodium. The price of troy ounce in 2018, this is crazy, guys. It went all the way up. All the way up. I mean, all the way up. You guys don't know about this. You guys don't know about this. This is why people become billionaires. In one moment, the troy ounce in 2018, ladies and gentlemen, write this down. It went all the way up. That's right, all the way up, all the way up. I mean, I'm talking about, to the galaxy up there, somewhere up there. It went all the way up to $22,252. I'll repeat it again to you. $22,252, the troy ounce of rhodium. I'm sure you guys know all about this because you guys are smart. Mr. Franco Fiore, maybe he can help me out with this, subject, I mean, incredible. 22,000. This is crazy. It's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing, ladies and gentlemen. And then in 2019, that's a lot, man. It's a lot of money. I need to drink some water, man. And I was a palomo. I was a palomo en el lambón. I was a palomo en el lambón. They told me about this. But I saw the year that it went down in 16 to $696. So in my mind, it was going to keep on dropping. But then it went back to 1108 in 2017. We are all naive. Exactly. That's why BlackRock, the Bilderbergers, State Street, Vanguard, the big trifecta, Bohemian Grove, they're all together to give us this. And then in 2017, $1,108 a troy ounce. And in 2018, $22,252. An ounce of rhodium. This ring that I have here, I want you to look at it. This is a Cartier ring. It's white gold. But to get this ring to become like a mirror, they put in this ring right here. It's already all scratched up because I wear it every day, If I take it off, my wife might get offended with me, I can't take it off. This is rhodium. Rhodium, to put it, all the Cartier watches, they're white gold, and all the Rolex white gold, they use rhodium, all that good stuff. and it went to 22,000. I can't get over it. $22,252. And ladies and gentlemen, in 2019, listen and learn, it dropped to $3,918. So it was 1 year for you to become an instant millionaire. Papi, the buses pass right by us and we never get on it. You know, I sometimes get on it when it's at the ending of making, some pocket change, But that 3 grand slams in a year, man, I've never been able to get that one, Not a grand slam, 3 grand slams in a year. And it went down in 2019 to 39,818. In 2020, check this out again, it went all the way up to $11,205. That's right. Are you ready for this one, ladies and gentlemen? Because the bus again passed by and I didn't flag it down. I didn't flag it down. I didn't flag it because I was a Michiganer. If Franco Fiore wants to help me out, he can do so and help me out. And ladies and gentlemen, this is unbelievable. In 2021, the troy ounce of rhodium, you ready for this? It went all the way up. It went all the way up. All the way up. All the way up to $20,254 an ounce. Unbelievable but true. That is in 2021. In 2022, again, the bus passed by me and I didn't get on it. It dropped down to $15,585. Dropped down. It dropped down, exactly. It dropped down. Ladies and gentlemen, now we're entering the year 2023. And it dropped down to $6,660. This is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And in 2024, it went down to $4,752. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. And today, right now, Franco Fiore, please Google it and find out for me if the price that I'm going to give you now for the troy ounce of rhodium is correct what I'm saying. Because Frank was a very smart man. Today, and the year hasn't even finished. This is the half of the year. Right now, is at $5,700 the troy ounce of rhodium. So I showed you, in 2018, $22,000. In 2020, $11,000. In 2021, $20,000. In 2022, $15,000. And now we are back at $5,700. So to all of you that maybe have those dreams that wants to become, some way, wealthy, with some money, I'm not telling you to buy no rhodium. I'm just telling you what I'm reading and what I look at. There's other metals and there's smart people in this channel that I told you about, the tombstone, like tombstone, osmium, these are other materials that guy, the guy that makes those electric cars, he's over there too in the administration in the White House. That guy, that he's kind of wacky, That guy uses that for his rockets, it can go up there and in the heat, and it's stronger than, somebody used the word, it's stronger than gold, it doesn't melt, it's unbelievable. And those are other metals that you have to look at. You have to look at that. I'm telling you what's going on. I just finished telling you that the trifecta of gold, silver, and platinum are going all the way up. And that means that everybody around the world is printing money. Pesos, dollars, chelos, cuartos, euros. Everybody is doing that. You know, listen, I'm not falling asleep. Remember, I'm not one of the sheep. You know, those sheep that people, they follow everybody around and do what they do. No, no, not me. I do my own thing, Mr. Donut. I do my own, exactly. Look into, nickel, copper, all that stuff. All that stuff. And those materials that I'm talking about, tombstone and osmium, right now, they're very, 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 please somebody help me, if they're, economic. Very economic, and that guy that makes those rockets and those electric cars, he's using those, those metals, those, whatever it is, whatever you call it. I'm just letting you know what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. This is, I already told you the other day that stage two of the recession is coming. It is coming. Those people don't mess around. Those people over there, they don't mess around. When those people get together, they're monsters. Those people don't play around with billions of dollars. Those people play with trillions. Trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars. And they're getting ready. They're getting ready for something, and I must talk about it to my people. Let them know. I gotta let you know, because these people won't let you, they won't let you know. They won't tell you that, because, they just son unos lambones, son unos palomos, So keep it in mind when I'm telling you about these, these metals, because I'm telling you, listen, platinum is all the way up to $1,470. Silver, you ready for this? Silver, you may not find this expensive, but man, it's moving on up. Silver is at $40 an ounce, $39.78, $40 an ounce. Silver was at, man, I don't want to tell you, but it was, it was at, $18, $19, and people are skip hopping around through life. And you have the other people, el otro sector, the other sector, which are also banking on Bitcoin, because we can't leave that out. We can't leave it out. We got to talk about Bitcoin too. We got to be across the whole table. La mesa entera. The whole table. So you know what's going, exactly, Mr. Donor. We cannot. You got to put it up there, because if I say it, they might get tasty and offended with me, but you cannot. We cannot continue skip hopping around through life like bunny rabbits in the Playboy mansion when it existed. No more. Somebody has to tell you this information. Because people are talking about, I'm going to make a preview of the strap. I'm going to talk about the watch. But they're not telling you the real thing, where you're supposed to be at, because you people have the money to do it. You have the money to buy a couple of ounces, 4 or 5 ounces. You imagine the person that bought, listen to this. You imagine the person that bought, let's say, 20 ounces, right, of rhodium at $696 an ounce. And then just a year later, it went up to $1,108. And then the big cañonazo, $22,252. Can somebody tell me how much money that person made in a year and a half? And this is where we're supposed to be at, gentlemen. No sean lambones, que si de Patek Philippe, que si el Rolex, que si the review, que si the strap, que this, que expose. You're not exposing nobody. We're here to make money like BlackRock, like Vanguard, like State Street. You understand me? Like JP Morgan. No podemos seguir comiendo cativilla. We can't. We cannot be like that, ladies and gentlemen. You bought 20 ounces, and that thing shot up all the way to $22,252. How much money did that unbelievable smart man made. You know, it's unbelievable. But somebody has to tell you this, and I will, because I am stupid like that, and I have to. Right now, I have 21 organic subscribers and only 9 thumbs up. Who should be the other, the other 12 there? Are they spooking on us to learn more? Because this is what we talk about. We talk about good things in this channel, things that make sense. Because we have rules in this channel. We have rules, not suggestions, but rules. Because the watch market is dead in a backyard pool and floating face down like this. He's dead. He's dead. No matter what they keep on telling you, the watch market is dead. I keep on proving it to you for free. I keep on proving it to you for free. Good afternoon, Thurston Howard III. Good afternoon. It's unbelievable. If Thurston would have heard all this information, he would have been saying to himself, wow, it's unbelievable. So we're talking about rhodium. Rhodium. Imagine rhodium going all the way up to $22,250, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, the rhodium is at $5,700. This is why those people, man, those owners, those J.P. Morgan, those Rockefellers, those Rothschilds, they know it all. The Bilderbergers, Skull and Bones, they're all together, ladies and gentlemen, making money, papi. And me and you are just jumping around, mumbling because I saw, a preview of the watch. I saw his watch collection. ¿Qué están hablando ustedes? ¿De qué están hablando? What are you guys talking about? I'm here dropping knowledge. I'm dropping my soul to you guys for free. While the rest of them do this to you. And they laugh all the way to the bank. And not me. I was taught by a brilliant man. A 5'4", 5 feet 4 inches, Paco Gambino, told me always, Juan, before you leave this world, you let everybody know what you know. You left already. You leaving the world. No sea glotón. Don't stay with it. Let it go. And this is what I do with you guys. You do whatever you want. I'm also going to talk to you, ladies and gentlemen, about another subject you guys should know about. I do this channel, and I do it with Kino. Kino to me, Joaquin to you. And doing this channel, doing a channel like this, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of patience. It takes time to build up a big audience in your channel. And it takes a lot of time. Like I'm telling you, I've been doing this for 3.5 years, and I have 8,450 organic watch channel subscribers. Not bots, not bots. I'm not saying nothing bad, Mr. Platform out there. I'm not saying bad because I don't want them to do this to me, So it takes time. You have certain people out there that have channels. And let's talk about watch channels so you understand me better. And they're out there, after they build up this platform with, maybe half of them are bot subscribers and maybe the other half are organic. But that takes time still. And they're out there saying things that they should not be saying. And they're using names that they shouldn't be using. And they're using content that is not theirs, and they're using it in their channel. And I'm coming in defense of all those people that try hard. I understand what they're doing, but honestly, you're just killing your channel. You're killing your channel. In baseball, I played baseball in my life. That was my dream, to be a baseball player. I wanted to play in the big show. I never made it because I wasn't good enough to make it to the show, but that was my dream. And in baseball, you have an umpire, and he calls balls and he calls strikes. And in this platform, we have strikes. The umpire will call ball 1, he'll call strike 1. Ball 2, strike 2. He'll call ball 3, and you have a full count. You have 3 balls and 2 strikes. And suddenly the pitcher throws a fastball and it's the 3rd strike and you're out. And this is what happens to you after you do all this work. You're out. ¿Tú entendiste? You're out. So you have other people that have big channels with, let's say, 500,000 subscribers. 500,000 subscribers. 250,000 are like that, and 250,000 are like this. So you use the smaller person to do all the dirty work for you, all the dirty work for you. And you say you go after this one, go after that one. But that person that's your mentor is not telling you that in this game we have balls and strikes. And you only get 3 strikes like in Major League Baseball. After the 3rd one, you're gone. So to all of you out there who have these channels, be smart. Don't become nobody's, toilet paper, Don't become a toilet paper. So, we're not going to get into no names. We're going to leave that alone so everything is good and kosher. But I'm telling you this is what happens when you're trying to be cute and you get carried away and you get drunk on thinking that you're a big shot. You're not no big shot. These people giving you a little space in their platform to do what you want, to say what you want, but not to get out of, you know what I'm trying to say, Damon. We'll leave it there, Damon. You're a smart man. You're a man of vision, mucha visión, like Papa would told me, vision, one from right here, vision, and they become Muppets, they become Muppets to the monsters. The monsters sit in the back and you do all the dirty work, but the monster's not going to tell you when you get strike 1, strike 2, strike 3, the game is over. They don't tell you that. They use you like, papel de toilet, paper toilet, You understand what I'm trying to say? I'm giving you something, good for you guys to understand. So I try to teach them all about subliminal, using this, using that, but they don't want to get it. They don't want to understand it. They think that they can say whatever they want. And you can't say whatever you want because they got the power to turn the TV on and turn it off, And, if you want to understand what's going on, read the comments, and then from there you take it. But you cannot be un lambón en a palomo. You cannot be nobody's guinea pig, You can't be nobody's guinea pig. You can't. You can't. You just can't. You can't be nobody's guinea pig. Do your own thing, and now you have to, make another channel, with a Mickey Mouse name, and start all over again because you became somebody's guinea pig. I'm telling you, but you know why they can't get me? You know why they can't get me? Because, I got a lot of things on my side, I got too many years. You see this gray hair? It's not there for, because it's just there. It's there of life, life. And, the poor chump was going bananas. He thought he was incredible, unstoppable. But you're not unstoppable. Everybody's watching you. Kino was watching him, Kino was watching him. And Kino would tell me, I bet you any moment. And I told Kino, come on, Kino, don't say those things. And, pop, out, you're out. They say it's called wisdom hair. That's right, Ziga. They say it's called wisdom hair. And this is why I'm here. This is why this is a dirty, it can be kind of dirty, when they gang up on you, and if you use, words that, they're not correct, they're going to connect to you and they're going to say, hey, this guy is saying this, hey, that guy is saying that. And, when you're using somebody's content, you're playing with your channel. You're playing with your channel. You cannot be playing with your channel. You worked hard. And now, what are you now? Eres un sapo. You're a frog. You're a frog now, you know? You frogged up. You frogged up royally. You lost it all, you know? So I want you guys to know this. If you are planning to do one day a YouTube channel, you have to respect the rules because they're rules. They are rules, not suggestions. People would ask me always, so why don't you use the name of Deputy Boxing Black Eyes? Because I'm still here. You know? Why don't you use the name of the fake Italian flat top monkey eyebrows? Because I'm still here. You understand me? Why don't you use the name of the hungry hippo Mr. Magoo? I'm still here. And you guys are still learning. And you're still learning from me, you know? You understand me? I mean, this is another, class. This is chapter 14. Chapter 14. And everything that I do is for free. And then you have people that come to my channel to tell me that why don't I invest in a microphone? That they like my knowledge, that they like my content. But they're asking me to buy a microphone. You understand me? I mean, it is what it is. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I've been talking to you about this in a very, nonchalant way, easy, because a friend of mine from this channel told me, Juan, you need to keep it simple. You need to keep it simple, Juan. You need to keep it simple. And then they say, you speak more clearly. Well, anyway, you're here for a reason. You've been hearing me forever for the last 3 years and a half. And this is the same phone I had for the last 3 years and a half. But it is what it is. I feel bad for that person for being used, like a mop. You don't let nobody use you in life. You let people use you whenever you wanna, be used. But, it is what it is, I'm gonna be going soon. I'm gonna tell you this just in case, you don't know about it, but I'm gonna be leaving to Japan. I'm gonna go to Japan. My wife is gonna take me to Japan. My wife loves me and I love my wife, and we're gonna be going to Japan. We're gonna be there, for 3 weeks, I'm gonna go over there. They say it's beautiful. I wanna go see Japan, all right, guys? And also, guys, I want to tell you something else. You have this gentleman that you guys are big fans of him, and I call him Wonderful Mister. Wonderful Mister. If you know who Wonderful Mister is, that's beautiful. Wonderful Mister. And Wonderful Mister has his hands in anything that he can make euros. Doesn't matter what it is. He wants to make money and whatever it is. He puts his face and he makes money. We have a platform, one of those watch dealers that is called the 1619. The 1619. If you don't know what that is, that's up to you guys. I'm telling you what it is. The 1619. They sell watches. And now these people have come out and said, listen and learn, and said that they were approached by the king of watches. 1619, the 1619 company. Unbelievable. And they have now the rights. Absolutely. There you go. Listen and learn. It's for free. It's for free. It's for free. It's for free. It's an unbelievable operation, and it works like a charm. Like I told you, Rolex will never address anything. The same thing that happened to that gentleman that was doing all the dirty work for the other guy with the big channel, with the 500,000 subscribers, and he was doing it, and then he got strike 3. It's the same thing that Rolex does. They talk to the 1619 company, and they say, we're going to give you now the rights to take all the watches you want. You're going to put in brand new. You're gonna cosmetic work on the Rolex watches. You're gonna do movement work on the Rolex watches. You're gonna refurbish. You know, is that the word? Help me out. Refurbish. Refurbish the watch. Listen to this. This is unbelievable. And you see the guy, you know, wonderful mister. And you know, so how was it? When did they approach you? Well, in the year 2023, we were approached by the king of watches for us to start, you know, fixing watches. And after they do all that, this is an unbelievable business, and it works like a charm. They fix it all completely. You know, it's already all polished, movement, everything, and now they take, they make it slighter condition. Coño, que this Mr. Donut, he's unbelievable. He's a brilliant mind. Mr. Donut's a brilliant mind, guys. They make it slighter condition, papi. You know, they make it perfect. That company, the 1619 company, you know, 1619. And after they do that, now they send it, you know, they wrap them up and they put them in boxes and they send it, you know, all sealed up, you know, guys with armored trucks pick it up and they take all those watches and they take it over there, you know, to, you know, Switzerland, Geneva, and over there they give it the CPO stamp, you know. And this is what's going on because they're talking about fake watches, Ching Jean watches, and all that good stuff. And they're giving a 2-year. You know, that guy's unbelievable, that wonderful mister, you know. He's unbelievable, that wonderful mister. He's making money. He makes money whatever way it is. He doesn't care, whatever it is. You pay me my money, I come out in the video, you know. You get this guy, you put him there, blah, 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 blah. I already told you this, the Rolex, man, these people are powerful, man. There's no watch brand. You know, I don't care if you like H. Muser. I don't care if you like Black Pain, Breguet, Patek Philippe. You name it. Bell and Ross, Panerai, Seiko, Bulova. Listen, that watch brand is untouchable. There's nobody. Don't listen to me. Here it goes. There's nobody better than these people. Unbelievable but true. Nobody. Nobody. Paco Gambino tell me, don't worry about it. These people don't have to talk. When have you heard of an interview of Sir Rothschild? When? When have you heard an interview of Sir Rothschild? Never in your life you're going to hear that. He might, exactly. Exactly. When? You're not going to hear never. None of these people. Ever. These people, get out of here. They don't have to. They don't have to talk to nobody. They don't have to talk to nobody. These people are unbelievable. These people that rule the world are unbelievable. But somebody has to drop you some knowledge, papi. And we have that, you know, that stage 2 recession that is coming. It's coming your way. Y viene enfadado. Viene brutal. Viene cortando cabeza. It's coming cutting heads. You know? Like, how do you call that? You know, I don't know if it's a good word to say this, but please somebody help me. It's not a bad word. But it's like a genocides. You know? Genocides. I think, like, you know, genocides. Because what's coming around there is big. Heads are going to roll all over the place. And you guys need to know all about this stuff. Because you guys are just hearing about reviews, watch straps, watch movements, how much the company is worth. 300 million, I'm going to sell it to Rolex now. No coman mierda. No sean gilipollas. Listen, nobody is going to bring you information, not for nothing, but guys, for real. Nobody's going to bring you this information. I talk to you about watches. I talk to you about precious metals. I talk to you a little bit about life, you know, the world philosophy. What are these people doing? They're picking on your pockets. They're picking on your wife's 401k, on your children's tuition money, university money. They don't care, but I care for you guys. I sent 2 children to private schools and to universities, and I made both of them professionals. They don't have to ever depend on me or my wife. Never. I think I'm going to stop talking about that already, because that's not the conversation, but we even talk about children in this channel. Children. You know, we talk about children in this channel. You know, and I'm going to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I've had 2 mentors in my life. 2 mentors. One is my father, my beloved father, which is unbelievable, and Paco Gambino. You know, I would sit down with him and he would tell me how to behave in life. And life will reward you in life, right? Anyway, guys, I'm going to give you a watch market update. I got 32 organic subscribers and 17 thumbs up for 44 minutes of knowledge. Isn't that unbelievable? 44 minutes of knowledge. You know, what do they give you over there? They're going to talk to you about a Cornell watch. They're going to talk to you about a Avanti watch. You know, those watches are worth 20 cents in the dollar. You come to me, I'll tell you what it is. You know, that's it. That's it. You go any part of the world, and you have an emergency, and you have the king of watches with you, you're good. You're good to go. Maybe Paddock and maybe AP. Richard Mill, I don't know. You know, it's what it is. All right, here we go. Our first watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a Rolex. 2-tone Submariner, yellow gold and stainless steel, the old famous bluesy, 40 millimeter. You know, unbelievable watch. You know, it's an unbelievable watch. You know, the 40 millimeter. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that watch has a retail price of $15,800. $15,000. You saw what happened with, you know, anybody know about Kellogg's? You know, an Italian company over there, you know, a chocolate Italian company, they bought Kellogg's. You know, the world's upside down. We're losing everything in America. You know, it's unbelievable. You know, it's unbelievable. You like Uncle Johnny? You gotta go see his last video. It's unbelievable. He looks like he made that video in a funeral parlor. You know, unbelievable. He looks like a director. Anyway, guys, the Rolex Submariner, stainless steel, yellow gold, blue dial, bluesy, 40 millimeter, 15,800 is the retail price of the watch. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want, but don't pay for that sub more than $11,600 in dropping. All right, guys? Our next watch is a Rolex stainless steel GMT. Bruce Wayne, 40 millimeter. The Oyster bracelet, not the Jubilee, the Oyster bracelet. Unbelievable looking watch. 126710 GRNR. $11,100 is the retail price. $11,100. Ziga says $14,000. You're looking good, Ziga. You're looking good. But I'm going to tell you, lady, if you want to give me one more watch price up there, put it up there. Go ahead, Mr. Donut. Okay, here it goes. 14,200 and 14,400 premium. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that watch more than $15,200, and it is dropping. All right, guys? You do whatever you want with your money. You do whatever you want. Saludos, saludos, papá, saludos. You do whatever you want with your money. Saludos. Welcome back to the channel. Bienvenido. Our next watch is a Rolex Rose Gold. Rolex Rose Gold GMT Root Beer. fully rose gold, fully rose gold. You know, we have now a new GMT with a, I don't know, a tiger dial, I don't know, lion dial, wow, you know, something like that. You know, same thing, you know, same watch, you know, rose gold, root beer. And the reference, a beautiful watch. It's a beautiful watch. And you know, we talk in this channel the truth. You know, we talk, you know, nothing but the truth. And this watch, the reference number is the 126715, and it has an oyster bracelet. It's an oyster bracelet. And the retail price of that watch is $46,500. I have that watch. I have that watch. Beautiful watch. But it has dropped faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Sad truth. And these people, you know, that's why I'm saying they do whatever they want. They do whatever they want. You know, Rolex does whatever they want. You just change the dial, put a line dial, and that's it. But it's the same watch. And it's 46,000, the one that I have, you know, my reference. $46,500. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell all of you because you need to hear the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't pay for that watch. I mean, you do whatever you want. And you might be thinking, but Juan, you pay for that watch. No, I didn't pay 46.5. I didn't pay 46,500, but I did pay 41,600. I did, right? And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, because I'm a kind man. I'm a man of ethics and principles. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that watch more than $33,500, and it is dropping. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. We have a subscriber in this channel that he's very committed to the channel. Great guy. And I call him Alex. And he has this watch, and he always asks me should I sell the watch? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I said, listen, you like the watch, enjoy the watch. And we're talking about a Rolex stainless steel GMT Sprite, 40 millimeter. When this watch was first released, this watch went all the way up, ladies and gentlemen. People got hurt so bad with that left-hand watch. They pay up to $45,000 for that watch. 45,000. Bendito sea Dios. Bendito sea Dios. $45,000. And then we're skip hopping around through the mall, Dayland Mall, Aventura Mall, you know, Merrick Park and Coral Gables with that watch on, you know, stainless steel, $45,000. You know, you were maintaining a Muppet Boiler Rooms lifestyle, you know, unbelievable. 126720, oyster bracelet, oyster, exactly. Wow, Ziga, wow, Mr. Ziga. Oof. Read what Mr. Ziga just wrote down. And here's my price. This has a retail price of $11,650. And ladies and gentlemen, let me take a look at Ziga again. Ziga put down $14,500. And I'm going to tell all of you out there, and it's dropping, and it's dropping. Don't pay for that watch more than $14,200 and dropping. You do whatever you want. It's your money. Yesterday, I show you those channels that say that the watch market is up and running. That is all artificially. It's called fake it until you make it. Fake it until you make it. That's all I got to say. I showed you yesterday everything. I show you the website. Go look at them. Go look at them. And they were going to be bought out by the king of watches. You think the king of watches looks at a company like that? Come on. Our next watch, ladies and gentlemen, is a watch that you guys are big fanatics of it, you know, and they have tried to keep it up there, you know, try to keep it up there to the best of their ability. Exactly, Mr. Donor. That's all. Look into that. We're talking about a Rolex stainless steel GMT with a blue and red ceramic bezel and a black dial with a Jubilee bracelet. Your word, your famous word, the Pepsi. Jubilee bracelet, not the oyster, Jubilee. These people have tried their heart out, to artificially. Papa, you can't. The money has dried up. You know, maybe you have some coins. Maybe Mr. Donut has some coins. Maybe Mr. Thurston, maybe Damon, maybe, me, Kino, we had a couple of coins. But the rest was a fantasy. Thank you very much, Thurston Howard III, for that super chat. I really, really appreciate that. I really appreciate your support. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean all of you as well, all of you. And ladies and gentlemen, there were people out there, they got caught on that wave. The wave. When you're surfing, you get on the wave. And there was so much make-believe money out there that people went crazy. Even we went crazy. We wanted to join the craziness. The SBA loans, the PPP loans, government grants, stimulus checks, unemployment checks, check protection checks for the company. You couldn't pay no more. Your employees, the government will give you $5 million so you can pay for the next year. There was money. That money dried up, Papi. It's all a lie. It was a fugazi. It was a dream. It was a wet dream. Una loquera. If I didn't tell you the price of the Sprite, don't pay more than $14,200, right? Don't pay more than $14,200. And I'm gonna go with the Pepsi, the Rolex Pepsi, 40 millimeter, 126710 Jubilee bracelet, retail price $11,100. Does anybody know what I'm gonna tell you not to pay for that Pepsi? Papi, la situación está jodida. Things are bad, Papa. The watch market is dead. The watch market is dead. He's dead. No, Mr. Premium, we can't say that because it'll be a lie. Thank you very much, Mr. Hugo Manrique. Thank you so much, Hugo Manrique, for that super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. It just motivates me more and more and more to keep on bringing you content in this channel. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I mean all of you for being here as well. Thank you very much. I'm going to tell you, don't pay for that Pepsi. You do whatever you want. Robert Taylor said 19,000. Ziga 15.5. One more and we're done. 12.5. I don't know, 125 or 12,500. Anyway, don't pay for that Pepsi. You do whatever you want. Cash is king, and you control the conversation. If you have cash in your pocket, it doesn't matter what you offer. You're the king. You have the money. Tiene la pasta. Tiene dinero. You have the money. So don't pay for that watch more. And I mean, don't pay more than $17,600 and dropping. All right, guys? That's it right there. Our next watch is a watch that in the Corona era, Corona beer era, this watch is rose gold with a chocolate Arabic dial. Sky Dweller, 42 millimeter. Ladies and gentlemen, I saw this watch, and this is no BS. This watch was trading $85,000 all day, every day. $85,000 in that Corona beer era. Unbelievable, man. People lost so much money, man. It's disgusting, man. $85,000. That's a big boy watch, absolutely. But now it's a small boy's watch because, it dropped. It dropped faster than Billy Boyd's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. Dropped. And ladies and gentlemen, this beautiful watch, fully chocolate. Reference number 326935, with the old, guarantee card, white and green, I'm getting more, more personal with you guys, This watch has a retail price of $50,900. $50,900. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you not to pay? Ziga said $33,000 to $35,000. Does anybody know what price I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch? Ziga said one. I need one more price and we'll take it from there. One more. 41,000, Robert Taylor. Robert Taylor feels like giving away money. And that's all right. He's here to learn. He's here to learn. Don't pay for that watch. Don't pay for that. And Mr. Casual Clocker wants to give money away. Even more money than Robert wants to give away. Don't pay for that watch. And there it is. Mr. Premium hit it right in the head. That's it. If you want to know the price, look at Mr. Premium's price. Look at Mr. Premium's price. That's the number. That's the number. Don't pay more, and I mean don't pay more than $36,000. What a shame. What a shame. From $85,000 to $36,000 that Mr. Premium of the option said. $36,000. But you still don't believe that the watch market is dead, Robert. You still think the watch is still jumping up and down. Watch market is dead. The watch market is dead. 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 You do whatever you want with your money. Cash is king. Listen to what he's telling you. Cash is king. You do whatever you want. You sit down. You want that chocolate dial, rose gold, Arabic dial. You say, aquí tengo 36 maracas. Aquí tengo 36,000 maracas. Here I have 36,000 maracas. And you don't want it naked. You want a full set. Not naked. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk about another watch, which is the Rolex Yellow Gold Daytona. 40 millimeter. Unbelievable. Reference number 126508. Has a retail price of $48,400. That's unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see how much through the years, how much that watch is going up in price? You know, that watch model. Retail, retail. $48,400. That's right, you always want a full set. Unbelievable. The new reference, the one that just came out, I don't know, a couple of months ago, and over there in that show, and Wonders Watches, whatever you call that over there. And we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, about no other than, you like that. My grandchildren, they love those cards. They play with those cards, like La Boo Boo, but they have cards. Cards is called the Pikachu. The Pikachu watch. Unbelievable with that, Pikachu color and the black gauges, hour, minute, seconds, $48,400. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch is under retail. Under retail. Don't pay for that watch more. We have to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. We can't say here fugazi numbers. This is why you guys are here. No, we can't say that, Poppy. It's a lie. If we say $30,000, I'm lying to you. And if I say $40,000, I'm lying to you as well. I'm lying to you as well. Okay, Casual Clocker is getting somewhere. But I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for this. This is a brand new watch. Ladies and gentlemen, this is fully. Remember, we spoke about this class the other day. Are they Oyster Flex watches that cost more than fully gold Daytonas? Oyster Flex Daytona, right? Oyster Flex, the rubber, the buckle gold, and the casing in gold. And then you have the one that's all fully, the whole bracelet. And sometimes the Oyster Flex are more expensive. More expensive. More expensive. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for this beautiful Pikachu Daytona. 126508, just in case you want to look it up. Retail price, $48,400. Don't pay for that watch more than $45,000, and it is dropping, ladies and gentlemen. Be careful. It is dropping faster than Bill Clinton. This is now when this watch is going to keep on dropping. Dropping, 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 dropping. But you have to hear the real honest truth of the price of the watch. Because we don't play around here. This is why we're still here. Exactly, Mr. Donut. This is why we're still here. This is why we're still here. We can't say $34,000 because that's a lie. It's a lie. It's a big lie. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about a watch that I told you guys when the new Rolex Daytona yellow gold with the green dial, Daytona green dial with the champagne or gold gauges came out, that watch was going to take over. The John Mayer, the one, this yellow gold with the green dial, you know, the John Mayer, dead. You know, this watch is an unbelievable. This John Mayer, reference number 116508, 2017, you know, in those years, you know what I'm trying to say? You know, and the retail price of that watch, you know, it's a collector's grade, collector's choice, you know, collector's dream. And I got a gentleman by the name that taught me this new one. It's called, I think his name is Franco. He said it's also called collector's grave, you know, collector's grave. And ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to believe this, but people pay for that watch. And you ask me, how do you know one? I saw it. I saw it. I have people next to me, friends of mine, that I told them, you're bananas, bro. You're bananas. But you're crazy. This watch is going to go all the way up to $500,000. You're bananas, bro. You're bananas. And that person that I know, he dished out like $142,000 for that watch. Today, he looks at me, he laughs always. I mean, he told me I gave money away. He tells me that I gave money away. And the retail price is $38,700, and it went all the way up to $160,000, $170,000, $180,000. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, do yourself a favor. Do yourself a favor. This watch is dropping by the day, by the second. Don't pay for that John Mayer 116508. Don't pay more than $48,500. You do whatever you want. The watch market is dead. The watch market is dead. The watch market is for lollipop suckers. You know, window lickers, tomato cans, crayon eaters, possum kickers, cow tippers, all that. Look at that. Look at Mr. Donut said 46. You heard what I said. Mr. Donut knows more about watches than me. He knows more than me about watches. Take it easy, guys. It's nothing big. It's nothing big. I'm only giving you what it is. I know you guys are stunned. I know you guys are stunned. No, you should pull it already. What's the difference between 45 and 48? Get it already. Go get it. $48,500. Boom, here's the money. You get a 2000 and I don't know, 16, 17, you know. This watch is old already. It's a collector's grave. It's a collector's grave. Dead. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be talking about a Patek Philippe Nautilus. Patek Philippe Nautilus, white gold, 5811, 41 millimeter. Retail price is $77,997. And I'm going to tell you, it has a blue dial. This is one of my favorite Pateks, you know, it's 41, it's a little bigger, you know, I like that. And it has a retail price of $77,997. What price am I going to tell you not to pay for that watch? Anybody know? It's a heavy hitter. And it has. And that watch has stayed there, you know, it's there. You know, it's a watch that it has potential, it has potential, you know, it has potential. 5811, 5811 white gold blue dial, 41 millimeter. Beautiful looking time machine. I'll tell you this much. The blue dial, that 5811, is totally different from the 5711. Just to let you know. And the retail price, Mr. Donor, is $77,997. Heavy hitter. Does anybody know? Nobody knows. Here it goes. Nobody knows. That was too tough for you guys. Okay, you're there. That's a good number. That's a good number. One more. One more. 5811. 5811. Don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. I'm going to tell you right now. They are artificially hyping up that price amongst dealer to dealer. Like a wiper. Like a wiper. You know a wiper from the car? Like that. You know? You understand me? Back and forth. But it ain't happening. You know, they haven't been able to find a girlfriend for it. No la han encontrado una novia para reloj. No la han encontrado un novio. They haven't found a boyfriend for that watch. There's no takers. There's no takers. And they have that watch for $147,000. $147,000. Not me. They have it. If they're around here walking around, they're hearing me. $147,000. I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that 5811 white gold 41 millimeter. Don't pay more than $134,000. Right? Don't pay more than $134,000. Ladies and gentlemen, our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus white gold 5740. This is a monster watch. This is a monster. Thank you very much for that super chat. Thank you very much, Casio Clocker, for that super chat. Thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for supporting the channel, as all of you are supporting the channel. Just by being here, you're supporting the channel. Thank you so much. We're talking now about a heavy hitter watch. The 5740, white gold, blue dial, monster watch. This is like what my cousin would tell me from far away. Damn, cousin, you always with those, Baja Panty watches, panty dropper watches. This is a panty dropper watch. A girl passes by you, you say hello, her panties go down. That's it. You're talking about a monster watch. 5740. Patek Philippe Nautilus, blue dial. This is it right here. For me, personally, this is the watch. From the Nautilus, this is it right here, cojones. Robert Taylor. Oof. Wow. Keep in mind, Robert Taylor. Look for Robert Taylor. He's there. Unbelievable. This is you know what I'm trying to say, Casual Clocker. You know what I'm trying to say. The girl passes by, panties fall down. That's all. No questions asked. Doesn't matter how you look. If you look like me with gray hair, doesn't matter how you look. No hair, whatever it is. Hairy chest, nothing. They pass by you, you say hello, panties down, boom. Beautiful watch, 5740. Unbelievable watch. Listen to the retail price of this watch. Listen to the retail price. The retail price of this watch. Does anybody know the retail price of this watch? You know what I'm saying, Casual. You know what I'm saying. I'm not saying no lie. I'm saying the truth. That watch, they'll drop faster than if you are in a 458 Italia. I'm telling you the truth. You sit in the bar like that, down. That's all. I'm not going to talk about this no more because my wife might be hearing me. But the retail price of that watch is incredible. It's $169,220. Papi, do you know what $169,220 retail price plus your Uncle Sam's taxes on that watch is? You're talking about, Papi, you're talking about a little apartment, a little studio in Collins Avenue, in 71st, somewhere over there, not the best part, but you get that, you can find that. Little rundown, little cosmetic work. You know what I mean. 100. That's a lot of money. 169. And ladies and gentlemen, I had a gentleman here by the name of Robert Taylor. You see that? I don't forget that. He said $185,000. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong. But I'm going to tell you not to pay for that watch. And this is Bobby, if you have that type of money, that's the watch to get. Eso es un relosazo. Tiny droppers. Poof! Papizo. Don't pay. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say, Thurston Howell III. Don't pay for that watch. As Mr. Taylor said, Robert Taylor said, 185. I'm going to have to tell you the truth and nothing but the truth. Don't pay for that watch more than $183,000. Right? And you know what? I have to. Done! Done! There's no money for that watch, Bobby. There's no money for that watch. Oh, you want the $59.90. That's what you want? You want the $59.90, Robert Taylor. You want the $59.90? I'm going to give you the $59.90. Our next watch is a Patek Philippe Nautilus rose gold with a blue jean dial, $59.90. Rose gold. This is another monster watch. You put that watch on your wrist and a girl passes by and she drops down her panties and she throws the thing they put her over here, you know? I don't know how to say that, you know? They throw it to you too. Why? Because that one is rose gold. You know, it's very, very flashy. Not like the white one, not like the 5740. They drop their panties and throw you the, ¿cómo se llama eso? El brasier. El brasier, here, take it off. $59.90 rose gold blue dial. Unbelievable monster watch. Blue dial. 40.5 millimeter casing. Retail price. Ladies and gentlemen, this watch. All right, Thurston, I hear you. I hear you. This watch, when it first came out, you know, I don't know, 5 years ago, the price was $107,000. $107,000. Okay, plus your taxes. The retail price for that watch today, are you ready for this? Does anybody know? Wow, Taylor's on. I can tell Taylor likes these watches because he is on numbers, on 2 of them already. So we have to give a little applause to Taylor, Robert Taylor. Okay, the retail price today of that watch is $132,509. And that watch at one moment in that Corona beer era, that watch went all the way up. If anybody puts me a number up there that I'm talking about, put the number that watch was in the Corona beer era. Does anybody know? It was over $500,000. Over $500,000. Over $500,000. And there was a real big long line of tomato cans, window lickers, crayon eaters. They were all there, ready to give away their children's tuition money, ready to give away grandpa's, you know, house money they left behind. Just give it away. That watch went all the way to $600,000, ladies and gentlemen. $600,000, that watch. And today, ladies and gentlemen, you heard what Robert Taylor said. And a couple of people at Thurston Howell, I think, said 220, I believe. But we're here to say the truth. Don't pay for that watch more. No matter what those flim-flammers and hoodwinkers are telling you, you know, that they are artificially hyping up the prices amongst themselves. There's no money, papi, out there. No hay dinero para ese tipo de material. For you to buy that watch today, you need back again the government money that dried up. It's the only way. That you're doing it, Papa, you gotta be, even the ones that have big money, they'll think about it. They'll think about it, you know. I'm gonna tell you, don't pay for that watch, ladies and gentlemen. It's the truth. But don't pay for that watch more than $213,000. You do whatever you want. Our next watch is an AP Royal Oak stainless steel 41 millimeter chrono blue dial, reference number 26331. This watch is an old reference number, but in the Corona era, this watch was over $85,000. $85,000. $85,000 this watch was at one moment, you know? And this watch has a retail price of $36,100. And you want this watch to be full set. If not full set, you don't want it. Don't pay for that watch more, and I mean this, don't pay more than $36,900 in dropping. You do whatever you want. You keep on, listen to me, if you keep on listening to these people, this is what they want. They want to mesmerize you. You don't remember when you know, Popeye had a chick named Olive Oil. I think her name is Olive Oil. And Popeye had a guy that was his competition. His name was Pluto. And every time that he wanted to get olive oil, he would just do this stuff, salami, salami. And Olive Oil, you know, she was no good. You know, she was una bandida. You know, she would leave Popeye and leave with Pluto. And this is what happens to you guys at times. You know, you get off track. You know, I don't want to say no more, but you do whatever you want. Don't pay more than $36,900. And ladies and gentlemen, this is my last watch, you know, of the day. My last watch. It's an AP Royal Oak Rose Gold 41 millimeter chrono black dial, reference number 26240. You know, 26240 black dial. Retail price is $59,000. $59,000. And I'm going to tell you, listen to me. I say that Vacheron Constantin has taken, to me, one of the biggest hits on price dropping on other watches, Vacheron. But I also believe that, you know, some watches of AP, and if you guys don't agree with me, that's all right. I don't get offended with that. But I'm not saying that every AP, but I'm saying a lot of the AP watches have dropped faster than Bill Clinton's pants in an Arkansas farmhouse. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that beautiful chronograph, black dial, 26240. Some, you said the right word, some. Exactly. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, don't pay for that watch. You do whatever you want. You do whatever you want. Listen to me, guys. You guys are paying for a 26240 chrono with a blue dial, you're paying like close to $40,000. So bracelet, close to $40,000 for a blue dial. In other words, that same watch will cost you $100,000. $100,000. And when you get it on a black dial and I don't know, a white dial, whatever it is, it just drops big time. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you do whatever you want. But don't pay for that watch, and I mean this, don't pay for that watch more than $72,000 in dropping. That's all I got to tell you. You do whatever you want. You do whatever. It's insane, the watch market today. Ladies and gentlemen, I really hope you enjoyed this watch market update. You learned something about the metals that are happening out there with rhodium. You know, you heard what's happening with gold, with silver and platinum, and now rhodium. You know, I hope you learned something with that. You know, be careful, be smart. Don't say dumb things in this platform. You know, you saw what happened to that dodo bird. You know, strike one, strike two, strike three, you're out of the game. You know. Anyway, guys, we have a watch private group under my name. Is in Facebook under my name, Juan Felipe Nieves. Scroll down, you'll find Opus and Time watches there, and maybe Samantha and Sweet Kid Kino let you in the group. Like me and Sweet Kid Kino say always to all of you out there, take care and brush your hair. Peace.